All right, guys, welcome back. We got our wreath base stuffed, and now we are moving on to getting all of our goodies put inside of it. So we are going to start off with a basket. Now, I know it's not like common to put a basket in a wreath, but I think it's super cute. So this one came directly from Sims Pottery. However, I know you've seen them everywhere. You can find a wall basket so many places. Walmart, White Bayou, Craft Outlet, the Wreath Shop, Jam Designs and Supplies. A lot of them have those moss wall baskets. So you can find a wall basket anywhere. This one came directly from Sims Pottery though. The item number on it is 3010M, and I will put that in the notes, but I will put some more options in there for you too. So we're gonna start off putting our wall basket into our wreath. So I'm just gonna clip that off. And I'm gonna grab a couple of zip ties or pipe cleaners, whatever I find first. I did find zip ties. For this, I'd rather use zip ties. That way I know it's, you know, a little more sturdy. So we have our wreath here. We have it ovaled out. And I know I want my basket to go, I want the top of it to fall kind of right there in the middle, just like that. So I'm just gonna work this zip tie through this back piece of wire. I'm not going through the wicker because you guys know wicker, oh, I did it backwards. Wicker can break. So I'm gonna go through the actual metal piece. And then I'm gonna come in here and go to that inside ring of my wreath and zip tie it around it. Once I actually find it, get it back in place. Before I tighten it down too much, make sure it's where I want it. Now I'm not gonna like suck it down onto it because we gotta put the other side on and it's just gonna stand up like that and it's gonna be pulling it against itself, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna come over here to the other side, excuse my head. I'm gonna try to move out of the way. And I'm gonna go in that piece of wire. And then go to my inner ring. It does not have to be super tight, as long as it's not going anywhere. I have it tight enough. And then I'll just clip that off and clip that off. So just like that, we have our basket placed right into our wreath. Now what we're gonna do, there's a few different options I'm gonna show you because you can kind of do a little bit of anything. And so I'm gonna show you these. That way you can see the different styles. These are kind of ones I was playing around in my head. I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to do it. I think I've decided, but we'll see. So there's this cute little bunny. She came from Hobby Lobby. And she would just look so precious right inside that basket. I have not completely ruled her out yet. There's this one from Hobby Lobby. And I thought that was super cute. It really makes an elongated design, but that's the part I didn't like about it. It was just too clunky right here. Instead of having dimension, it was just real straight. And then this one is the one I thought I have decided on, and this came from Walmart. And I thought that that was just super cute, positioned right there, like that. I thought that was adorable. So I also have these, and I thought these were fun because this gets back to the whimsical thing that I talk about, and it is these huge ears from Walmart. How stinking cute are these? Like, I saw these, and I was like, oh my God, I have to have those. So I thought that these would be cute sticking out of our basket too. Is it too much? I don't know. We're gonna play around with it and see. But I do know we're gonna put this down. This might be backwards probably, but I'm a left-handed person. So I usually work at everything left to right. So big things like this, I typically put to the left, but I know that I'm gonna have my big bow right here and her bow's right here. So I would probably work it in this direction. So it could be catty-cornered like that. If we use it, I don't know. I do know we are gonna use her. Now, this is foam. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a nub. And what I mean by a nub, and I'm looking around for one because I've thrown everything away today. But what I mean by a nub is like this. One of the pieces that we've cut off one of our floral picks. It's a perfect little nub. Oh, speaking of nub, I cut myself earlier. So it's a perfect little nub that we are going to try to stick in her bottom to stick in the basket. In the basket also is gaps and cracks. I forgot to show you that. I've already filled it with gaps and cracks and prepped it so that I have a base to work with. So I'm gonna try to get this in her bum, and we might have to, oh no, that was easy. Well, kind of. So sometimes you can get it through and then it gets hard. Oh, that's really hard in there. Okay, that's fine. It'll go in enough if I dip in some glue. So I'm just gonna dip this little nub in some glue and stick it back in there. And I'm gonna trim this down. Because that's a really long piece we would have to try to drive in there. Yeah, we're gonna put her in here just like this. And I'm just gonna drive that piece into the foam. So now instead of trying to glue her down to the foam, she's actually attached. She's nice and glued, stuck in there. She is stuck. I am gonna go ahead and put these in because I like them. And I usually always go with my gut and like the way it turns out. But guess what? If it turns out bad, I can just yank them out. We're not gonna glue them. We're gonna dry run it. I'm going to trim it down significantly. Some of these thicker stems, even with the Nippics, are so hard to cut. That's another really good little nub. Save your nubs. Oh, the bow came untied. Let's tie this satin bow back. Okay, got the bow tied back. Now let's drive these in here to the foam, like so. I'm just gonna tuck that piece of ribbon down in there. This one can hang out here for now. Trim this up just a little bit. We'll see how we like that as the wreath goes on. But I think that's so stinking cute. We'll see. We'll see. Now we can move on to all of the fun things. So first off, I am going to get a good base layered with this greenery. I usually do my ribbon first, but because I have a lot of places to fill, I would like to lay this greenery down, move on to the ribbon, and then we'll move on to all of our picks and stems. So this bush number is 83353 frosted. You can get this in green too. I have it in frosted. The wreath shop has this exact bush for a very good price, like $5.75. Jam Designs and Supplies has this in actual green, and it's only $2.50, except it's about half the size. So if you get two of them, it's $5. And if you use code CANDY20, you get 20% off. So that's this is a very good budget greenery. So I'm going to push these up and start clipping these off, and then we'll just start working around the wreath. This has quite a few stems on it. So like I said, it's a very, very good price. I'm clipping these stems decently short because they're going into the wreath, so I don't need them really long. If you have them really long, they're just gonna get in the way. What happened here? There we go. Then you're gonna be trying to shove them through the mesh and all the other things in your wreath, and then you're just gonna be cussing at it. We don't need no cussing in the workshop. Just gonna pull my chicken fryer a little bit closer. And I'm just gonna start dipping and sticking. And what I'm aiming for is kind of in between that inner and outer ring, because we're also gonna create some size, as if it's not big enough already, right? Gonna create a little size, adding a little bit to it. Because who doesn't love a decently budgeted wreath that's extra large? So as I'm going into the sides, I'm not going just straight in there. I'm kind of going in at an angle. That way it faces a direction and not just facing straight out. And I'm just working my way around just like a clock face. I'm letting that hang down off the bottom of the wreath, because we're creating some size. A few more pieces. This is one of the really long pieces. I am a fan of having a very full bottom. I think it just looks really good. It looks very appealing to the eye. So I'm actually filling this bottom in pretty good. I put 5 pieces down here, one right next to the other. Excuse me as I work my way around. See, now I'm hitting some mesh. I gotta work it through. Eventually, oh, you hear the train? The store's right by the train tracks. Last piece right in here to finish off our clock. Now we already have a very good foundation set. I don't even know if it's coming across on camera as good as it looks in person. Such a good foundation set with just that one bush. That's gonna create us to not have to use as much product in the rest of it. Now, let me grab my ribbon, which I did not bring to my table. It's right over here. Let me grab it. And the ribbon that we're gonna use is going to directly coordinate with our garland, because that's what makes sense. This has been my go-to spring ribbon for like 3 years. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just the pastel color of it. It is just, I think it's so adorable. It's so yummy. And I'm gonna start off with a 4-inch because I love using a 4-inch as my base. Then we're gonna come on top with these two 1.5 inch. I mean, yeah, 1.5 inch. Hello. And then we'll come on top with the one we use in our basket, this filigree pink. I'm gonna go ahead and take the plastic off of these. I already have glue strings everywhere, y'all. We're starting the circus again. Okay, we're going to take our 4-inch. I'm just gonna drop it to the floor. My bow is gonna go right here. So I'm going to start with a decently long tail, that way I can trim it. And I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna make a loop. And to find what size I want, I can just place it up here, see how it looks. I feel like that's a good size. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna fold it up to it. And then I'm gonna make sure these come pretty close to matching. And then I'm just gonna trim this off. I'm trimming this one off pretty short because it's gonna go up this way. Cute already, cute already. Now I'm gonna come in with the pink, the hot pink, and I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna fold it and make a loop. I'm just gonna lay it on top. And I'm just gonna bring this up to it to meet. This is the easiest way I found to make bows that does not require a hard grip in the middle. It doesn't require all the pinching and twisting. It's easier on the hands. I have carpal tunnel in my hands and I have a very bad grip. So this is the easiest way that I can still make good bows without using a bow maker. Now I'm gonna take this purple Swiss dot and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm holding it with these 2 fingers and I still have these 3 free. Make a loop, lay it on top. I'm making this loop just a tiny bit smaller than the one behind it. And then I'm bringing this up to it. You have one more. Actually, we do have this yellow plaid. I don't know if I want to use it. I feel like it's so loud. I don't think I'm going to use it. Same thing. I'm going to just make a little loop, lay it on top, a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to fold this up. And here we have our bow. A lot of people use zip ties to tie their bows. I use pipe cleaners. Now, if I'm using very sturdy, thick designer ribbon, I will use a zip tie because a pipe cleaner is just not going to hold. But I like to use a pipe cleaner most of the time for the simple fact that I can twist it around it and then use the same thing to adhere it to the wreath. So I just twist it around the back. Then I'm going to come in and I'm basically doing the bottom corner. If there was a corner to an oval, I'm going in the corner. Right there, I'm just snugging it up to that basket. I'm going to stick the pipe cleaner through to what seems to be, well, am I losing my mind? Okay, I think the outer, nope, there's my inner ring. I'm gonna run it through. Now, sometimes, y'all, this takes patience. Sometimes you run something through and you're trying to grab it and you can't find it. Just have some patience. Take it off the stand if you need to. Relax. It's all gonna work out. See, I don't even know what I have going on back here. Okay. Now, I found both pieces, both ends. So now I'm gonna pull it to where I think is a good spot for it that's not too sucked down into the wreath. And I'm just gonna twist my pieces around each other just like I did on the back of the bow. And now I'm going to dovetail. I'm gonna get a new pair of scissors because those scissors are very dull. I'm going to slant this one. It's gonna be the shortest. And then I'm going to come down, I'm going to dovetail, which means I'm going to fold the ribbon wire to wire. And then I'm going to cut up. And it makes a little dovetail. Can you see that? Just a little dovetail. Then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do the same thing, except these are going to be short. Slant that one. Dovetail this one. And this one. And this one. And now I can move it and pull it where I want it to go. Now, the wreath is not done. So if I spend a lot of time trying to fluff this bow out, all I'm going to do is keep smashing it, working on the rest of the wreath. But that's our bow, so we're moving on. Okay. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Now we're going to move on to the rest of our ribbon. Because we did this down here, I have a really great space up here for some tails and some bows. I'm not going to use my 4-inch though. Because I have this 2.5-inch in the same color, I'm going to use it in its place. That way I don't have a bunch of big clunky ribbon running around the rest of the wreath. So I am making a tail like this, and I am going to twist this in the back. That way they're both facing forward because we're just making a little miniature bow. And now I'm going to get my hot pink and I'm going to make another little miniature bow on top of it. This is double-sided, so I don't have to twist it, but you can if you want to. And I'm going to come right up here diagonally from my other bow, and I'm going to grab some pine. I need 2 pieces, preferably. All this pine, I can't find 2 pieces. There we go. Okay. I'm going to bring it in. Try not to get in your way so you can see. Twist the pine around them. I'll bring my short tails up. I have my little loopies right here. And then I have these tails, and what we're going to do with these is we're going to waterfall them down the wreath. What that means is you're just going to create a waterfall effect and run your hand down it, pinch it, give it a little waterfall, and then we're going to tuck it in. And I'm kind of going into the inside of my wreath so that it's not just facing outward. You're kind of seeing that ribbon pattern come down. And I'm just going to grab a piece of pine and wrap it around it. Now you can double waterfall if you want. Well, let's see. How do we think that looks? Is that too much? We'll leave it for now. Grab another piece of pine. Wrap it around it. After you make wreaths a lot, you kind of learn to trust the process a little bit, because right now it looks like it's too much. It's like, wow, it's a lot of ribbon. It's just sticking out like a sore thumb, but it's not going to always look that way. We're going to start filling it in, so you're not going to see it as much. I like the double waterfall. We got a lot going on. I think that just kind of goes with it. We'll see. If not, we can always clip that and just make tails out of it. Let's trim these. I dovetail as I go, because if I don't, to me it looks too incomplete and I spend a lot of time fighting what I think it's supposed to look like. Now we have all of this going on here and here. We need to add a sprinkle of it over here, just so it's not, you know, too heavy on one side. But all we're gonna do is a tail. So I'm gonna take these two and I'm gonna pinch it right here. So I have a little tail here. Twist it into the pine. Clip this one a little bit longer and dovetail it. Just like that. And now we can take our other two ribbons and put a couple tails of it throughout. Wow. This is a lot of ribbon. Yes, it is. It's gonna look great. It is a lot of ribbon. And it's gonna look great. It's gonna look great. Slant. Dovetail. I'm leaving this longer because it's hanging off the wreath, and I'm leaving these shorter because they're just sticking out the side. Everything I do, I'm mindful of keeping the shape of my wreath. We want an elongated oval look, not chunky and round. Same thing over here. Just going in between those tails and the bow. Grabbing some pine. Just making some tails. Use my fingers. There's a lot of good wire in that ribbon, so make it work for you. Don't let it just lay flat on your wreath. Let it curl and swing and sway, you know? Now I need a little tail up there at the top. So I just cut a little tail. If you twist your pine around and you just like, that's not very sturdy, or you only had one piece, that's okay. Twist that pine around it, grab your glue gun, and just dab some glue on it. And now we're gonna go one more right in here with those so that everything coordinates. Now I'm just gonna clip that tail off again. I do make the higher side shorter than this side, just again to aid in the shape of the wreath. Twist that piece of pine around it. And we have our ribbon complete. So far this looks fantastic. And all we have in it is this 550 piece of greenery and some ribbon. Some budget ribbon. So we're doing great. We are doing great. Now, just because you make something on a budget does not mean you don't throw in some great pieces. You gotta throw in some great pieces, okay? Now, that is going to be our lovely daisy filler bushes. Oh wait, we're gonna save those for last. First, we're gonna add in some 60919. 60919. That is the name of it. That is the only SKU you need to memorize in your whole life, except for the other new SKUs for them. You might need to memorize those. This is like a whole $5.95 before your coupon. So you're talking about like $7 for both of these. Comes with 3 fabulous stems. And it is the world's greatest filler because you're adding flowers and you're adding greenery. It's just fantastic. Great coverage. So if we're really wanting to fill this wreath up, we break out the 60919. What is crazy is in my local store to me, Ellis Home and Garden, they are selling these 60919 for $14.99. I'm like, y'all have lost your mind. Now they do give 40% off, but Jam Designs and Supplies gives 20% off. White Bayou gives 10% off. Like, I'm at $4. $14.99. No, it's a ripoff. It's crazy the amount of people that shop there, because it's the only store in our town that's not Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They sell the different stuff that a lot of these resupply places online that we love sell. Now, don't get me wrong, desperate times, I do pay them a visit. Desperate times. Okay, I'm gonna start working these in. Now, this, because it is flowers and greenery, I'm going to work some of it to the inside. I'm not going around that clockwise. I laid my greenery foundation down there. I have 6 pieces to work with. So let's see what kind of fullness we can add with these. This one I'm going to come under the bow, but I'm still going in front of the greenery. I'm still going toward the inside of the wreath. Now we're really starting to add some size. This one, I'm going to come up, and I'm going to come with the same angle as the bow, if I can make sure this mesh is out of my way. And we're going to angle it up. Creating a very full look right here. We have this, it kind of keeps this beautiful shape, and just, I love the way that, like a burst right there. All right, we got 3 more. Go right here in this corner, toward the inside. I'm going to come right into my little mini bow up here. And just spread that out. Make sure you're spreading. Get your money. That's your money. Get your money. I'm in the money. Use your money. Spread that thing out. Touch every piece. Give it life. Now we need one in this vicinity. If I put it here, that's just a little too heavy into the front, so I'm gonna work it into the side. I don't want it sticking straight out to the side though. Hello, there we go. Dive it in there at an angle, really get that in there so it's not sticking out to that side. And it just fills in like that. So this is where we are. And we have a whole $13 worth of greenery in there. 13, that's it. That is stinking it. Crazy, blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. If you think I'm getting rid of those ears, you're wrong. Those aren't going anywhere. Those are so cute. And if you don't like them, that's okay. This is just a tutorial. It's a guideline. Do you, boo-boo? But good gosh, those are cute. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add a few eggs. Let me go grab my eggs because we need this to coordinate, oopsie, with our garland. Let's see, I have 4 different colors. So let's see what colors we like. These, again, I have fallen in love with for like 3 years. They are the eggs from Hobby Lobby. They have gone up in price. They used to be $3.99, now they're $4.50. But, or $4.99, one or the other. They're so great. They're foam, they just look so cute. It's as good as a Christmas ornament, but it's an egg. So, I have a lot of pink here. I feel like I want to add some different colors. Maybe like a purple and a green. Yeah, definitely. Now you can pull the tags off of these if you want. I feel like that's a pain in my batucas, so I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, I need this to stay here and I can't trust to glue to this greenery. We're going to try to make our own, well, yes. We're going to try these nubs. That's why I said save your nubs. Now this price tag's right here and I want this to kind of sit in an angle like this. So I'm going to go in from the side. Oh, just went right in there beautifully. Look at that. Made my own pick. It's a little long. I'm just going to clip it a little shorter. Now I'm going to put some glue on it where it is inside the egg. And then I'm going to put some glue on the stem. And I can stick it right in there. And I know now that it's sticking to that greenery and that mesh. And then I can come in with my glue gun. And I can just put a little extra where it is touching the greenery. Everywhere where it's touching, I can add a little glue. We're gonna do the same thing with this one. This one, I feel like I want it to go kind of behind his head right there. So I'm gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna stick that in there, just like that. And I'm putting some glue where I put it in there. I'm putting some glue here. I'm just gonna stick that in the wreath. Right like that. I'm gonna go in. What's great about that fabric mesh is that's just another place stuff can stick. Whereas that metallic mesh is just going to melt. So you don't really want to stick there. So those are the only 2 big eggs I'm going to use. I'm going to save these for the garland. And then I have a couple of these eggs. Now, my husband just pulled up. Y'all are welcome for that. I have this bag of eggs, Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can get eggs anywhere, Plaid, solid, doesn't matter. And we are going to save these for later. Just kidding. We need to get our florals added in here first before we start putting these little pieces. So I'm going to start off with this daisy filler bush. And it's the same one we used in the centerpiece. And we're just going to tear it apart just like we did in that one. Or cut it apart if you need to. We get 5 pieces. I'm just going to trim these down so that we don't get caught in the mesh. And I really want to fill this up. I could just use one bush, but I'm going to use this as literally my last floral. So I'm going to use 2 of these. This is going to be the most expensive piece we put in here. Everything else was very budget friendly. This one is still very budget friendly, but it is a little pricier. But it's the finish. It's the finish off for this. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing with these, and we're gonna start spreading them apart and putting them in all the fun places. And I'm gonna start at the bottom, and I'm gonna come right up under this basket here. Really work that in. Gonna come next in between these 2 pieces of 60919 that we placed and get that down in there. Now, see, I'm caught on this mesh, but what I was gonna say is, you know, if you want to dry run it, you can. I glue in place. I have 0 commitment issues, y'all. No commitment issues. This is kind of a skinnier piece. I'm gonna run this into our basket. So we gotta start adding. We don't have a basket for no reason. Oh, that is so cute. That is so cute. Next, go right past that 60919. Work that to the inside. I love spring as much as I love Christmas because there's so many beautiful bushes that they come out with, and you can make things so full and not really spend a ton of money. You can just fill it up with flowers and greenery and all those extra pretty stems, and can really get a lot. Okay, y'all, that was only 1 bush. Wowza. Wowza. Right behind the ears. to the inside. There's a dark space right there that really needs to be filled in. There we go. Bring it forward a little bit so you can see it. Yes, that is money right there. I'm going to bring this one to the inside right here. Because this is really not a coverage bush. This is a beautiful bush, and we're giving garden feels just like in our centerpiece. So we just need that spilling out of there, which is spilling out of there. I'm working from this side, so I need to make sure this side doesn't get neglected, and it kind of has. We need a piece right here in this darkness too. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This one, we're gonna work in behind this egg. I might, almost left the stem a little too long on that. Now I have one more piece, and what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to double up right here. It's not a very big full piece, it's just a little bit, but I want it to be very full. I like the fullness at the bottom. It just is very appealing to the eye. See, this bow has gotten moved and smashed. So you can't worry about it until you're done. Till you're done. Okay. Almost done. I have some carrots. Do we want to add some carrots? I feel like we do. If I can cut them apart. I think these are meant to go, wait. These are meant to go as a bushel. This would be kind of cute tucked in here. That's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. But that would be really cute. Especially if you didn't do the ears. If you did like a bundle of carrots, that'd be really cute. This twine don't want to cut, I'm going to have to untie it. Y'all, come on. All right, finally. Hallelujah. Now that's cute though. Got to take a little care. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom. We're just going to tuck that right in there. Because that's cute. They come right in here. Right now, I'm just looking at what's going to look appealing to the eye, some emptier places. I like that. I like that look. Just 3 little carrots sprinkled in there. I think that's adorable. Because we can also add our whimsical carrots from our centerpiece. Just gonna cut a few off this garland. This very budget-friendly garland that we got at Walmart. I don't know why I'm so in love with these. I don't know. And I think I'm gonna add them because they are, gosh, they're so stinking cute. I love whimsy, y'all. I cannot get away from it. Again, I'm just tucking these with what I feel like makes sense. Oh, now this one, I want it to stand up. So I'm kind of bending it and tucking it in that way. That way it's not facing down like that one. I don't want it to look too uniform. I want it to stand up. That's adorable. That is adorable. Okay, now let's place some eggs. And I also have these if we wanted to put a little more whimsy in here. I think we're going to. Let's place a couple more of these. Odd number, so we're going to go with 3. Now I'm going to leave these, I think, a little more curled instead of pulling them out. We'll see. We're going to see how that turns out. Now I want to look and see where I want these placed before I go in and do anything crazy. I'm going to tuck that in right there. I think that is super cute, and there's a lot of darkness in there, so I'm definitely going to do that. And I want these eggs to spread out if I can get them to. Yeah. I'm going to slant that. I'm going to leave it for just a minute because it's glued to the bunny's back. It's what works, right? It's what works. I think we'll tuck this one right there in that bow. Now I can pull these out a little bit because the bow is kind of hiding them. So I want to elongate that just a bit. Just to get it a little more seen. Now I'm doing that because I had a lot of carrots and things going on right here. So this diagonal needed something else. Oops. Extend these curls out just a little bit. There we go. There we go, there we go. Okay, now our eggs. Let's plant a few of these, and I'm just going to dab some glue on the side, and we're just going to kind of get these worked in here. I'm going right next to this one, and I'm just gluing it to the greenery. It's small, it's light. We can just get it to dry, it'll be fine. That way it just looks like a little egg bundle right there. I think I'm going to glue that one right there, because I think that's cute. Just my little trio. Well, I don't know if I put the glue in the right spot. There we go. Oh, I should have left. Hold, please. I'm gonna need some more glue. Should have left some of that up and some of that down. Fill in that hole right there. There we go. These are just our last few sprinkles. You can barely see them, but those small little accents, oh, they make or break a wreath, I'm telling you. They can mean the world. See, it's just tucked in there, just like a little Easter egg hunt. feel like we need one in this area. I want to put it in this middle of this bow, but I feel like it's too big. Let's see. I'll do one without glue. Oh no, that's cute. Okay. Cover that middle bow up. Help spread it out a little bit. I have a green one that still has some glue on it in my hand, so I'm just going to tuck it in here. Get all my glue strings off. Wow. Holy smokes, this ended up big. All right, y'all, let's take a look. Do you see it? Oh my. Oh my. I love it so much. I love it so much. I hope you love it too. And I hope this was a great guideline for you to go make your own. I'll see you at the next tutorial.